Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Today I've got some BF1 gameplay for you with some live commentary on some updates and BF1 stuff that's happening in the upcoming future. And I feel like I like to do these kind of videos every now and again where I just kind of talk completely off the cuff and just have a chat with you guys really. So today we're going to be looking at the May update for BF1. We've got a load of changes and updates and fixes in this patch that's coming out, and there's a lot of good stuff in there, so I thought we'd go through it. Also, it's game season right now, I think, with EA Play and E3 coming up. This year is going to be absolutely mad. If you're a gamer, I think it's a very good year, especially if you're a PC gamer. I can't talk about everything that I'm going to do at EA Play and E3, but I'm going to be working with a lot of different companies there on capturing new exciting games that I know my audience are going to be really interested in, so the big FPS games, for example. And I think there's going to be a lot of hype this year. We've got Star Wars Battlefront 2, we've got BF1 in the Name of the Tsar DLC, and then all of the Xbox Scorpio stuff, like are we actually going to get to see some games running natively at 4K on the Xbox, 30 FPS? Maybe 60 FPS, I reckon, probably upscaled based on the spec, but it's going to be very interesting to see that. And then obviously from Activision, we've got stuff like Destiny 2, which is coming out on PC, and first impressions were very good of that. And of course COD World War 2, and I think that this year they're probably going to focus a bit more on the PC version, kind of trying to get that PC audience back for the game. With it being a World War II game again, going back to that boots on the ground gameplay, I think it could be a really good thing. And then of course you've got Ubisoft games like Far Cry 5, the new Assassin's Creed. I'm very interested to see what they've done with Assassin's Creed, because it took a couple of years off after Syndicate. I think they kind of realised that the formula was getting a bit stale, so it's going to be really interesting to see in terms of gameplay where they take the series now. There's rumours and there's leaks that the game is set in Egypt, which I think could be a really cool setting. And if you think about like all the mythological stuff like mummies and the Sphinx, they could introduce that angle there as well. And then you've got the Sony stuff like Last of Us Part 2, which I am so excited for. The Last of Us, I think, is probably in my top 5 favourite ever games. I just enjoyed that story and gameplay so much. And of course God of War, that trailer last year when they showed that and everyone was like, what the hell is this game? And then you finally see Kratos scream and it's like, okay, that's a new God of War, and they've kind of taken it in a completely different direction, so I'm very much looking forward to that. And from Nintendo, really the only thing that I'm excited about is seeing some more Mario Odyssey gameplay. I've always been a big fan of the first party Mario 3D platform games, you know, like Super Mario 64, Sunshine, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are both excellent games as well. And Odyssey bringing Mario into the real world, I suppose. It looks like it's New York. I think it's New York anyway. I'm sure that Nintendo fans will be very happy to get their hands on or see more of that game. So it's a very busy June, July and August for me. I'm going to be travelling to a load of events. We've got EA Play, E3 and then Gamescom and some other events in between that, so I'll be all over the shop, but I will keep producing content for you guys, and hopefully you are enjoying the direction the channel's going at the moment. I'm still enjoying Battlegrounds. I think it's an excellent game and all of the updates that are coming out for it. BF1, we're doing the Across the Battlefield series, and then I'm going to be doing a lot more on Destiny 2 as well, I think, as we get closer to launch. And I'm hoping to see some big updates and changes to Rainbow Six Siege as well, because I've not really played that in a while, but they're doing this big health update that's supposed to fix a lot of issues with the game, and a lot of the stuff that they've mentioned is why I actually stopped playing it, so hopefully that kind of rejuvenates my interest in the game. Maybe they'll even announce something at E3 this year, we'll see. So thank you to you guys for tuning into the channel and watching everything that I make and sharing the videos and giving the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I do read through the comments. I don't have time to reply to them all, but I am checking them out and always taking your guys' feedback on board, so thank you very much for sticking around. So then onto this BF1 patch. They're doing this whole monthly update thing now, and the May update has a lot of good stuff in it. The first thing that I wanted to talk about was operations. So if you've played the game, especially on PC in the last like 3 to 4 months, it's very hard to quick match into a game of operations, and most of the time it will just put you in an empty lobby and then you just want to quit because it's never going to happen, and really the only choice is to play something like Conquest, Domination, TDM. So Operations has been dead, and that's a shame because I think it's one of the best game modes in the game and one of the best things that BF have introduced to the series for a while, but you just haven't been able to play it really. So DICE are attempting to help mitigate this empty servers problem, and one of the ways that they're doing this is introducing Operation playlists. So once a match of Operations ends, you're not going to exit the game and go back to the world globe like you've done previously. So instead, it's going to actually restart the game in the same operation and you'll switch sides. So if you were attacking, you'd be defending, and if you were defending, you'd now be attacking. Unfortunately, in this iteration of the game, it's only going to stay on the same operation. But in the future, they're going to look at updating the game and have it so it actually cycles through different operations. And I think really that's the perfect solution to this problem, because not everyone wants to play the same operation over and over and over. Even if you're on different sides, I think having it cycle through all of them would definitely help the problem. It would keep the lobbies full, and also if you're someone trying to find a game of Operations, you would assume that this new system means that there's going to be a lot more fuller lobbies to join. No specific information on if Operations is coming to the server browser though. I personally don't think it ever will, and that's a shame because there's a little cheat that you can use to actually see Operations games in the server browser, and that's been really useful to find games which are full. So I think having it in the server browser would be a good thing, you know, just give people both options, one in server browser, one in quick play. But fingers crossed that this new Operation playlist thing actually improves the whole quick play situation. There's a few changes to maps, modes and vehicles in here too, as well as spectator mode fixes, and these are some of the most important ones that I think you'll care about. The ticket count of Domination has now increased to 200 tickets per game. It was 100 tickets, but I'm sure if you've played Domination, you'll know that if you're on a team or a good team that steamrolls the other team, the game can finish in like 3 minutes, and you're like, what was the point? So they've doubled the amount of tickets to 200. It was 100, so Domination games should now last a lot longer. They've also tweaked scoring for capturing flags in Conquest, and if your team has more than 3 flags, you'll get a Conquest bonus in your scoring. As well as the Operation playlist thing that I talked about, they're also adding a join any operation button, which will matchmake you into any full Operation game, and I think that right there is definitely going to help people find Operations games, because if you don't really care what operation you're playing and you just want to play the damn game mode, you can click that button now and it will just put you in a full lobby in any map. In terms of vehicles, the self-repair has been tweaked on certain tanks, and what they've done is reduce the health gained per self-repair cycle from 320 to 200, so tanks are going to be a bit more vulnerable now when they're repairing, and you'll have to kind of fall back for a bit longer if you want to do a full self-repair, and maybe instead you should think about repairing it with a hammer or having a teammate or a support player who can help you repair it too. The health of field guns and anti-air guns has doubled now, and they've also made them repairable as well, because they found that planes were being just way too dominant, and if you were a good pilot and you knew the locations of the anti-air, at the start of the round you could just take them all out and they wouldn't respawn, which of course makes a good pilot pretty much invincible if they're not doing stupid stuff. So now they've doubled the health of them and made them repairable too, and that's definitely going to help in taking out planes. Field gun damage has been increased versus tanks, so they're going to be a lot more useful versus tanks, and I agree with that change. I feel like field guns just aren't really that effective at all. They've also added a rear view camera to planes. If you remember, you had this back in the day on BF2, I think it was. I'm not sure if it was in 1942, I don't remember. It was definitely in BF2, you could look behind yourself. And they added it to BF4 as well later on down the line, but now you can do it in BF1 as well. You just hold free look while in third person to use the rear camera. Attack planes have been buffed and their turning radius is now closer to fighter planes, and dogfighters now have incendiary ammo, and the point of this is to cripple planes very fast by breaking a wing or kind of setting it on fire. It's going to be interesting to see how that changes the meta. The bayonet charge is being nerfed, and this is a big point of contention in the community. Some people love it, some people really dislike it. And what they've done is reduced the aiming speed modifier in the prepare state and the charge state. And that means that the rotation of your player is limited to 50 degrees. So you're not going to be able to wiggle around and serpentine movement as much. And also in the game at the moment, you also get a small health boost when you initiate a bayonet charge. That is going to be removed in the May update. So you'll be the same health when you start charging and when you finish charging. And personally, I think this is a good move for the bayonet charge. In its previous form, I think it can be really cheesy, and the fact that you can just turn on a dime and initiate a bayonet charge straight away is kind of ridiculous and cheesy. But with this nerf, I think now it's going to really be more of a risk-reward thing. And of course, you can still use it to one-hit kill elites, and also if you need to quickly get in cover, you can use it there as well. I mean, ideally for me, I'd love to have bayonet charge and melee on separate keys, because still, and ever since the game launched, I'm getting in situations where my character starts bayonet charging when I just wanted to do a melee attack, and then I end up missing the guy, and it's really embarrassing as I run around in circles taking damage. But there you go. What do you guys think about this? Love the bayonet charge? Hate it? Let me know. You can now adjust the amount of camera shake from explosions. Yes, I mean, that's brilliant. I didn't expect anything like that to come to the game, but apparently it is. Less screen shake, please, DICE. We're also getting low on ammo icons, and this is great if you're playing as support and someone's nearby that is running low on ammo. Then as a support player, you'll see an icon that says, hey, this guy's low on ammo, you should give him some ammo. So that's really good, because a lot of times when you're playing as a different class to support, you end up just finding yourself following support players around, spamming need ammo, need ammo, need ammo. They don't pay attention to you and you might end up dying, whatever. So hopefully this new change actually incentivizes support players to drop more ammunition. You can now turn off user-generated content as well, so that's stuff like platoon names and avatars. So if you don't want to see any more anime boobs, then you can totally turn that off. And netcode, DICE are still tweaking this and trying to find the right ping rate, keeping the netcode solid in all servers and regions. So the per region threshold for server-side hit detections is actually going up a little bit. I think it was 100 in the latest patch, and that meant that if you were a player who didn't necessarily have servers in your region, you would get over 100 ping, and your hit reg would be really inconsistent, and you would actually have to lead the target to account for the lag. But now that's being moved up from 100 milliseconds to 130 milliseconds for US and Europe, and 200 milliseconds everywhere else. And the final point for today, from May 23rd to June the 10th, Premium Friends is back. And if you don't know what that is, it's a system where if you've got a friend who's got Premium and you haven't, you can make a squad with them and play on all of the Premium maps together. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little update and that was nice and clear and concise for you. Let me know what games you're excited for this year. E3, EA Play, Gamescom. Like I said, I think it's going to be an excellent year to be a gamer, especially if you're a PC gamer. It's really picking up speed at the moment. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, a thumbs down. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.